So I'm with my friend Evan and we're playing basketball at this gym in Hollywood, California called 24 Hour Fitness. As we're shooting around, at the far end of the court, there's this entrance and we see this towering figure walk into the gym. And it was kind of as though there was like this ripple effect of heads just like turning. Everyone was kind of like, huh? And right off the bat, I looked at my friend Evan, he looked back at me, and we were like, dude, that's Magic Johnson. So everyone starts kind of freaking out, and Magic Johnson walks over to this one hoop and he starts shooting around by himself, and of course everyone's like, oh my God, what if Magic Johnson wants to play basketball? Well, lo and behold, Magic Johnson says, let's play a game of basketball. And I was fortunate enough to get on a team to play against Magic Johnson, although I kind of wanted to be on his team. Didn't really happen, but I got on my squad, I was with my guys, Magic Johnson kind of organized the whole thing, and we start playing a basketball game with the one and only Irving Magic Johnson. So this game's in full swing. Mind you, my friend Evan was occasionally guarding Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's running up and down the court. He basically anointed this one guy to be, as my friend Evan called him, his own James Worthy. Like, he was just going to this guy. He was pointing people around, telling people to do plays. He's doing his like behind the back passes, his hook shots. Everyone's like celebrating or like high-fiving when Magic Johnson would score on us because it just looked so good. Keep in mind, everyone also is playing at this very elevated level. Me personally, I'm like defensive guy, hustle guy. I just run up and down the court, partially there for a workout, but also to look like, you know, I'm probably not going to contribute in some other ways, so I'm hustling. I'm going to get hustle points. If there were hustle points in NBA basketball, I'd probably be first team NBA every single year if I played in the NBA. So while this game is happening, two life-changing events took place while this game was happening. The first thing, as I mentioned, I'm like Mr. Hustle guy. I'm running up and down the court. I'm going from one side to the other. And Magic Johnson, who's in full swing of magic mode, he's dribbling down the court. I'm kind of on the side of Magic Johnson, like trailing him. And I see that he's about to pass it to the guy that I'm guarding. So all of a sudden, Magic Johnson does his behind the back pass. And who else but myself steps in front of this pass. And I end up stealing the ball from Magic Johnson. And I was there so quick, I just jetted down the court the other way, and now I'm running to my court. Well, it turns out that there happened to be like this one other guy who might have been like their team's version of me, because there was this guy who ran down the court and started to play some defense. Now, keep in mind, I know I said I'm like a hustle guy, but I'm also like layup guy and wide open jump shooter guy. I'm like Mark Madsen meets Mike Miller meets Brian Scalabrine. I'm not the guy who crosses over somebody and dribbles around. Like, I'm really good at wide open layups, and I make a high percentage of wide open jump shots. So this guy runs down at the other end of the court, and he all of a sudden like goes in like charge mode and just raises his hands as though I was just gonna barrel into him. And this is a very intimidating moment for me because, like I said, I don't really know how to, you know, cross over people. So I'm running in head on with this guy. And I don't know if I blacked out or something, because all of a sudden I just like juked one way, crossed the other way, and before I knew it, I was underneath the hoop doing this reverse layup, and it was bouncing off the side of the backboard and went in. It felt effortless. It probably looked effortless. In my mind, it definitely looked effortless, but I couldn't believe it. So I look up and the ball falls in the basket, and I start running down the other side. I start running down the court, and Magic Johnson himself runs up to me, pats me on the back, and says, "Nice layup." The second very significant thing that happened during this game. The game that we were playing was actually a very close game, and people didn't really realize it at the time because we were all watching Magic Johnson, but the score was 11-11, and although we were playing up to 11, it's first one to win by 2. And unless you're those guys at the gym who play by 2s and 3s, typical pickup games are by 1s and 2s. Meaning, if someone were to hit a 2-point shot, this game is over. And whoever hits that shot wins the game. So, it's 11-11. We just went down and missed our basket. Magic Johnson gets the ball, of course controlling everything, runs back down to his side of the court. We're all getting on defense. Now we're playing some serious defense because there's a chance that I could walk away and say, hey, I beat Magic Johnson. So our defense is stifling. Magic Johnson's at the top of the key. He's kind of like pointing people around, telling people what to do, like, oh, hey, go this way, and it just wasn't happening. No one was really listening. His James Worthy was even like, I don't know who was shutting him down, but he wasn't passing to him. Everyone's running around. So what does Magic Johnson do? He grabs the ball. He drops the ball, and he says, timeout. I don't know if anyone's ever called a timeout during pickup basketball, and that's why this was so significant, because Magic Johnson just called a timeout. He ends up huddling up his team, and we see him start drawing a play up on his hand. Meanwhile, our team kind of went back and we were like, dude, does Magic Johnson just call a timeout? What the hell just happened? No one even knew what was happening because Magic Johnson was drawing a play. Clearly, it was probably going to be the greatest play ever drawn in a pickup basketball game. So, he breaks from the huddle. He gets the ball. We check it in. Magic Johnson's dribbling around. Again, he's telling people where to go. And you see this obvious sign of frustration come over Magic Johnson because the play was broken. Our defense was stifling. And Magic Johnson ends up getting frustrated. Kind of does one of like these frustrational looks. And he just pulls up from deep three. I'm talking like half court. And just shoots the ball. Makes it. 3-pointer, which counted for 2 points. They win the game 13-11. Magic Johnson never knew he was going to lose. Never thought he was going to lose. Magic Johnson was not losing that game. And he knew it. I thought we were actually going to win. But after the game, Magic Johnson shook all of our hands, told us good job, nicest guy ever, greatest basketball game ever. I left and talked about it for about 4.5 weeks straight. Years later, I'm still talking about it. And this was the Magic Johnson story, aka the greatest basketball story ever.